The light within me recognizes the light within you. Thank you. From my perspective, the single most important thing you can do on a spiritual journey is meditation. And, this has been throughout the ages. Like, it's pretty, like, a practice that, like, if you want enlightenment, or you want self-actualization, or you want some sort of peace or joy within, you have to look within, and it's there. Well, there's covered by layers of shit, but it's there. And I feel like in a lot of new age, places where meditation is, accepted, obviously, and people do it sometimes. But I feel like other practices that aren't as helpful, or aren't even as effective if you don't meditate in the first place, like crystals. Like, a lot of people think that if you just have a crystal, it just works, which maybe, kind of, but a lot of times you have to channel energy through the crystal to then use the healing power. It doesn't just, like, magically work. It can, maybe, sometimes, but not really. And so if you're a meditator, you can do this much more easily than if you're not. And there's so many other things like that, like probably like tarot or other witchcraft things, all these other practices that really are not that effective if you are not in touch with your inner self and your magic within, essentially. And so one of the methods that I use for meditation, mainly, it's pretty simple. It's called the Silva method, and it was like created by just this doctor. He has written a lot of books and stuff like that. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. But basically what you want to do is, so you're going to roll your eyes up like a little bit, focusing like around your third eye point. And so generally you want to do this after you wake up, so you can go to the bathroom or whatever, and then come back and lay down. And so then you go do this. So then you want to roll your eyes up and count down from 3, 2, and then 1. And you can just breathe. It's just like kind of slow cadence. And just relax your body, like completely. Just try to relax your body. And then at first, you'll be counting down from, after that, you'll be counting down from 100 to 0. So that's pretty long. And then after 10 days, you'll do 50 to 0, 20, and then 10 days, 25 to 0, 10 days, like 10 to 0, and then you can just stay at 10 to 0. And when you want to wake up, basically from this like trance that you're hypnotizing yourself, essentially, you'll count up from 1 to 5, and so you'll be like 1. So first you'll like say something like, "I'm gonna wake up feeling energized on the count of 5 and like fully rejuvenated," and then you'll be like 1, 2, 3, and then you'll affirm that what you just said basically to yourself, and then you'll do 4, 5, and then you'll wake up. And it's pretty simple. It's, pretty useful. I found that it's been the most effective for me just to do it, and I enjoy it, and it gives you something to focus on. It's kind of like what a transcendental meditation would do with a mantra, but it's not a mantra. And so there's a difference, but like it's something that your mind, a thought that you're going to focus on. And then once you get to the 0 point, you don't just end. Well, you can, but when you get to this point, you can then begin to, either if you had a topic that you wanted to focus on in your meditation, so like you're like having a problem in your life or whatever, just like you could meditate on that. That's helpful. Another thing that you can do is just focus on your breath, which is essentially the most important thing that you're going to do in meditation. Is like focusing on your breath. Like it just is your life force. It's like and then just like literally feel it go all the way out, feel it go in your body, and that's very, very calming. And when you have thoughts, you may have already heard this 1,000 times, but you're just aware of the thoughts. You just, oh, that's a thought. You don't have to say that, but like you just, when you see something, when I look at this phone, I'm not like, oh, that's a phone, that is an iPhone. You just look at it. Or like if you look at a tree, sometimes you may be like, oh, that's a tree, but a lot of times you'll just look at the tree. And so that's a similar thing that you would do for meditation. When you have a thought, you're just like, you have a thought, you like see it and it finishes. It's like, oh, I need to do this thing for school. That's a thought. And then you're just taking the breath in, be like, go back to your breath, and then it's gone most of the time. And then if it wants to come back, it can. You just observe it again and breathe. Go back to your breath. And then so on and so forth. And really, meditation is so important. Like, I devalued the importance of long form meditation and just meditation in general for a while, just because it's kind of uncomfortable a lot of times. Like, if you're not used to the silence and you're not used to your body, it can be uncomfortable. But I've reached a point where I can, for the most part, have a pretty good meditation session where I don't like get super distracted and actually get pretty peaceful, in my mind at least. So thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you meditate after this video. If you guys liked the video, like the video. If you guys also enjoyed, subscribe. Peace out.